Tonight on DC News Now, DC Council member Trayon White charged with bribery.
Trayon, any statement you want to make?
The latest on the FBI's investigation.
We're dealing with a few more scattered showers here today, but we'll let you know if this is the last bit of rainfall we will see throughout the rest of the week.
Plus, it's day one of the Democratic National Convention. A look at the big headliner of the night. We're your local election headquarters.
Pass with purpose.
Sports can do so much for you on and off the field.
How this week's DMV doer is using a unique approach to inspire kids to stay active.
It's officially official. Jaden Daniels is the Washington Commanders' Week 1 starter when the team opens up the season on the road against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hear from Jaden Daniels and head coach Dan Quinn coming up on DC News Now.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
And thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 5. I'm Mark Hall.
And I'm Annalisa Gale. DC Councilmember Trayon White is out of jail tonight after appearing in federal court on bribery charges.
The FBI arrested White in Navy Yard on Sunday. DC News Now's Dave Laval joins us live from the U.S. District Court. Dave, what can you tell us about the charges?
Well, good evening to you, Mark and Annalisa. We can tell you those charges against Trayon White could get him up to 15 years in prison. Federal prosecutors claim White used his position on the D.C. Council to extend 2 contracts and cash in on some of that money. Trayon, any statement you want to make?
Trayon White remained silent as supporters led him out of U.S. District Court, where prosecutors charged the D.C. Council member with bribery. Court documents say it started in June of this year, as White agreed to accept $156,000 in cash payments. In return, White would pressure employees at the Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement and the Department of Youth and Rehabilitative Services to extend contracts there. Those were worth just over $5 million. White's cut of them, according to court papers, 3%. Undercover surveillance footage, according to the complaint, captured White as he received $35,000 in cash on 4 separate occasions from the owner of the companies involved in the contracts. Those payments started on June 26 and ended August 9th. Mayor Muriel Bowser addressed White's arrest Monday.
Well, I think anytime you have an elected official that does something wrong or is accused of doing something wrong, people are going to have a lot of heartburn and serious questions and disappointment and anger and all of those things.
White has a history of controversy since taking office in 2017, including an audit in 2022 for campaign receipts and expenditures not in compliance with D.C. official code, plus anti-Semitic remarks back in 2018. White sped away from the courthouse after Monday's hearing, both destination and a future unknown.
Court documents also say White received trips to Las Vegas and the Dominican Republic before the start of the cash payments. His attorney declined to discuss the charges. White, meanwhile, returns to court September 19th. We're live at U.S. District Court. Dave Laval, DC News Now.
All right, Dave, thank you. Taking a live look at the Washington Monument.
Yeah, it looks a little cloudy out there. Heading over now to meteorologist Damon Matson for a look at where things stand. A lot of kids went back to school today, Damon. How's it looking after they got back home?
Yeah, things were quiet earlier on as those kids headed off to school there. But so far this evening, a little more active. You're going to need to have that rain gear, the umbrellas handy for just a little while as we deal with some scattered showers working their way across the DMV. Now, most of the heavier, steady rainfall is down off to our south toward the Richmond area. A little bit of that is clipping into southern Maryland. St. Mary's, Calvert, Charles counties going to see this steadier rainfall. But if we zoom down closer to the district here, we don't have any rainfall within the district itself at this current moment. But over the last hour, showers have become a lot more common across Montgomery, Fairfax counties as well, down toward Hybla Valley, Mount Vernon. Some heavier rain coming down there near Route 1. and then you are seeing some showers as well spreading out over Prince George's County from Blandford Village all the way up toward Bowie as well. And this rain, it will continue on and off for at least the next couple of hours. But once we get beyond sunset, so on toward 8 o'clock, that's when the rainfall is pretty much going to stop or move on to the east. And then we are drying out as we head into the overnight hours. So things are looking to dry out, but are we also about to feel a change in the air? Cooler temperatures, could they be on the way for Tuesday? We'll have that answer in your full forecast coming up here in just a bit.
Damon, thank you. In Virginia, charges will not be filed against the Potomac Yard PetSmart after 3 dogs died in their care. Animal Welfare League of Alexandria revealed findings of an animal autopsy report performed last month. It shows that one of the 3 dogs that died likely arrived at the PetSmart with a bacterial infection that worsened with time. The veterinarians were unable to perform an autopsy on the other 2 dogs, and therefore they say that there's not enough evidence to pursue charges. The Welfare League does allege that only 4 of the 5 staff members were caring for as many as 160 pets at a time. They recommend that PetSmart either hire more staff members or limit the number of animals that they can care for at a time.
Meantime, in Maryland, a Frederick business owner is picking up the pieces after his auto shop was set on fire. DC News Now's Frederick County reporter Skylar Salas has an update on the arrest made and the recovery efforts.
An arrest has been made for the person accused of burning down high-low auto sales in Frederick. After talking with the owner, Bo Cavell, he says he's still in shock by what happened.
Really a tragic thing to happen. We're used to hearing about things like this in the big city, but things like this going on in Frederick is a little bit disturbing.
Along with the fire, a truck was also stolen from his business that was later found in the Potomac River. Cavell says the damage to his shop is estimated to be about $800,000. But what Cavell is really concerned about is the well-being of his employees.
We've been down 3 months at this point, and our managers, our sales staff, we've had to cut our sales staff a little bit, and sales and inventory buying and all the things that we do on a regular basis have slowed down because we're not here.
Deisha Hartwell is a salesperson at High-Low Auto and says since the fire, sales have decreased, which has also put a financial strain on her family.
Everything became uprooted. Finances have been very tough. By the grace of God, I'm making it, and everybody's always been awesome. So we kind of just were like, we're gonna fight through it together. So we have been, but it's been a struggle.
Cavell says he hopes that by October they will be back to normal, but he is now looking to the community to help bring back sales and move them forward.
We're not gonna let this whip us. We're gonna be here with cars and deals and taking care of the people of the community.
Reporting in Frederick, Maryland, Skylar Salas, DC News Now.
Skylar, thank you. Well, with kids heading back to school, experts say parents should keep an eye on COVID-19 because cases and hospitalizations are up. Now, according to the latest data from the Virginia Department of Health, cases statewide were up 50% last week compared to the week prior. Hospitalizations are also up 9%. A doctor with VCU Health says with cases on the rise, parents should take some precautions.
It's never a bad idea to wash your hands. So teach your children to wash their hands, particularly before they eat and before they're putting their hands to their mouth or to their eyes, and particularly in situations where there's congregation, parties, et cetera, wash hands before eating.
Now, the good news is, although cases are on the rise, COVID-19 deaths so far are not.
Well, leaders in D.C. welcomed back teachers ahead of the new school year. The rally kicked off a week-long of professional development training for teachers and staff. Mayor Bowser says that she's grateful for the educators in the district.
Thank you for your commitment to public education, your commitment to training and loving and challenging our young people so that they can have a phenomenal school year, but also a phenomenal future.
The first day of school for D.C. Public Schools students next Monday. Fairfax County Public Schools is one of several Virginia school districts welcoming back students today. A reminder that FCPS is testing out a phone-free policy at some of its middle schools and high schools. Now, parents can find a list of those schools participating on our website, dcnewsnow.com.
Turning now to sports, the Washington Commanders have made it official. Rookie quarterback Jaden Daniels has been named the starting quarterback when the team opens up the season on the road against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Sports reporter Brandy Flores has more from the Commanders training camp.
When the Washington Commanders drafted Heisman Trophy winner Jaden Daniels second overall, they knew that they wanted him to become the future franchise quarterback. What was unsure at the very beginning was how quickly he'll develop the confidence to, no pun intended, command an offense in the NFL. And after just a couple preseason games and an impressive training camp, Dan Quinn made it official today here in Ashburn that Jaden Daniels will be the starter week 1 when they open up the season on the road against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Just a blessing that DQ and AP trust me to go out there and lead the team, lead the franchise to hopefully win some games. Everything in life is you got to earn it. Nothing's given.
We're seeing him hit all the spots. This is a rare competitor, and those are the things that I knew about him, but seeing it in your own building, on your own team, he's just, had a remarkable start to things here.
You gotta love what you hear from Jaden Daniels, the rookie, saying everything is earned, not given. Granted, he has earned the shot to become the starting quarterback week 1. We'll see how well he'll continue to develop as the Washington Commanders will practice the rest of this week for their last preseason game this Sunday, taking on the New England Patriots at home at Commanders Field. Until then, reporting from Ashburn, I'm Brandy Flores. Back to you guys in the studio.